afternoon and welcome to episode 6, Trafficked. They got to go down there and save somebody. I mean, the women on Creole, they have a good time and everything, but there's just something about them. They still on a mission to save other women. So that's never going to stop, no matter what episode we in, or no matter where they are, no matter what they're doing, how much they enjoy life. Their mission is always to save women. So this one is a little bit more emotional, because, we got some things going on here. But I hope y'all enjoyed. I'll see you at the next episode. Bye-bye. Introduction to the Planette Creole, where women work, where women rest, where girls learn, where there are no men from earth who will survive, where battles are fought, the Planette Creole. Scene 1. Warn me about what? What do you mean, Andiette? Camille wasn't about to let her just walk away like that. About you, Kai. Listen, in case you have not noticed, Yukai is a grown man, able to make his own decisions. Camille, you need to understand. Whoa. Understand what? I don't have to understand. I don't have to answer to you about any of my business. I know about why you are here on Creole. I know about you and why you are here. Camille was somewhat taken aback by that statement. What did she know? Know about me? You were dating a man named Damien, and you used him for his money, and when you got bored with him, you left him alone, hurt and angry. Now you want to have a child with Yukai, and I am warning you not to hurt him. You don't know nothing about me, Andiette, and I'm going to have a word with Dr. Fatima about selling out my confidence. Dr. Fatima did not sell out your confidence. You mentioned my name, and my ears caught your message. The next time you want to share a confidence, do not call my name. Andiette frightened Camille to a point that she could not describe. She knew there was something about this little creature that was strange. I did not hurt him. He tried to use me for... Therefore, you used him first. And what is wrong with me protecting myself? You have no clue about what it is to deal with men on earth. If your life was not in danger, you would have done the right thing by leaving him instead of getting him first. Camille turned away, took a breath. She was an emotional wreck. It was bad enough Yukai would not be back for 2 months. They were on Kuzin, helping to rebuild the place. She resolved to put Andiette in her place. This would be the last time this little thing would show up at her door calling herself, giving a warning. Andiette, if you think I'm going to stand here and allow you... Just then, Andiette's phone went off. It was coming from Kim, their Earth representative. How can I help you, Kim? Gather the troops. Get a crew down here. We got a situation that needs your help. And bring the largest passenger shuttle you have. I am headed there now. Camille heard Andie's side of the conversation. When Andie hung up, she turned to Camille and added, I will not have to visit you again. I take it that you are taking my warning seriously. Andie left. Camille wanted to strangle her, but she knew Andie was right. She had used Damien, and once he found out, he put a hit on her. That's when she and her sister left Earth and came to Krail. Stood the reason she hardly visited Earth, although her mother had been begging them to visit more. Now she could use COVID-19 as an excuse for not visiting. Scene 2. Andie had contacted some of the defenders to travel with her to Earth. She also summoned Liz to go with her. Liz loved hanging out with Andie because she was so cool. Jackie decided she would accompany them. They kept a supply of personal protective equipment in the van due to the coronavirus. Take off at 1742 at 2219 and we are headed for Earth. Please secure yourselves in your seats, the pilot said. Andie and Liz co-piloted. Liz was one of Andie's students. Other than Andie, the pilot, 2 defenders, and Jackie, there was no one else on board. They needed as much room as possible for the victims they were going to rescue. Andie had secured her stifling weapon on her side. She was always ready for a battle, and Jackie had to have a talk with her about the difference between disabling someone and taking them out totally. So, Andie created a stifling weapon that would take a person out for 24 hours and they would wake up to consciousness. Was that fair enough? Soon, they could see Earth below them. Although they could see it, they were still hours away from landing. Liz became excited. This would be the first trip to Earth where she was on a mission instead of visiting her mother. In fact, she had not seen her mother in over a year, a couple of months before COVID hit planet Earth. The place was in bad shape, and Liz often wondered where it was all leading to and why there was more peace in other solar systems such as theirs, with the exception of Kuzin. Andie often said there was no hope for them down there on Earth. She said it was better to live on Earth though than on Kuzin. They finally landed in a remote field and phased themselves to meet Kim on S Street Northwest in Washington, D.C. They phased in. Kim was sitting in her van when Andie, Liz, Jackie, and one of the defenders appeared on the sidewalk. The other defender stayed at the shuttle to protect the pilot. Kim hopped out of the van and approached them. These rascals, oh my goodness, these rascals. Kim said she was pissed. The street was quiet and her voice seemed to echo. It was night. Hardly anyone was outside due to people still sheltering in place, although it was now March 2021. Where are they? I'm about to show you where they at. Come on, Andie. Come on, y'all. Follow me, Kim said as she led them through a short alley to the next parallel street. Before getting to the next street, they approached the back door of a store. The door was locked, and Andie had used her eye laser to break the lock. The The padlock fell to the ground and Kim raised the door. Inside were several girls between ages 11 and 16 sitting on the floor. Come on, girls. Come on. They seemed hesitant, so Kim stepped it up. We're not here to hurt you. We're here to get y'all out of here. Now hurry. The girls rose and started following Jackie to Kim's van, but one of the men who was holding them heard the commotion downstairs and alerted the men who intended to traffic them. A street fight broke out minutes later. 3 men appeared, attempting to stop the escape, but Jackie punched one of them out while the defender took the other one down. And did use her eye laser, training in on one of the men's midsection. He felt the burning sensation and went down. And girls, run, come on, hurry. The girls ran behind Kim until she reached the other end of the alley, where she led the girls into the van. They climbed in one by one, and once the last one got in, she shut the doors, got behind the wheel, and peeled out, leaving the others to handle the criminals who were trying to traffic those young girls. The leader of the pack faced off with Andiet. Everything had calmed down by then. The other guys had been taken down and were lying on the ground.
What are you gonna do?
The big burly man said. She, Jackie, the defender, and Liz stood nearby. Nobody was saying a word. I got this. Andiet said when the defender raised her weapon. Andiet, what are you doing? I said I have this, Angela.
Angela, she said she got this.
The man started laughing. From his standpoint, Andiet looked defenseless. I suggest you run now.
From you?
Yes, you should run from me.
Oh.
Just run. I want to see how far you will get.
Okay, I'll play your little kid game and run.
He smirked, turned around, and started running. A few yards into his run, she used her laser to take him down. He hollered before falling to the ground, spasming. The women laughed, and Liz high-fived Andiet and said, "You rock, girl, Andiet, you rock." "Okay, let's get out of here, everybody," Jackie said before they all phased out. Scene 3. The group phased back to the field where the shuttle waited. Kim had all of the girls on the shuttle, and they were quietly waiting on the others. The pilot was ready to go. "What took you girls so long?" the defender, who had been waiting on the shuttle the whole time, asked. That was Tasha. She was probably just mad because she wasn't out there in the street in the action. Jackie said, "We would have been back long ago, but Andiet wanted to face off with the leader." "Well, that figures," the defender said sarcastically. Andiet showed out. Woo! Liz boasted. She wanted to stay longer, but she had to get back to Creole to babysit for her friend Kendra's baby so that Kendra could start her mission out at sea. She was training as an ocean defense aide. Andiet approached the girls. They still seemed frightened and shocked. "Don't worry. are safe now. Where are you from? The girls explained that they belonged to a club and they were at a meeting when the men broke in, shot their advisor, and kidnapped them. They expressed their desire to return home to their families, however. We will get you home as soon as Kim makes communication with your parents. We're taking you girls someplace where you can be safe for now, Jackie said. She was not going to leave those girls on Earth until the parents had been contacted. Scene 4. Ruby had just gotten word from Jackie that the crew was on the way back to Creole. She sat in her den having a glass of wine from the gel vine, a delicious plant that was used not only for wine, but as a healing property in medicine. Ruby was surprised to see Danielle initially, but when given it further thought, she wasn't. She had to keep in mind that Danielle's whole agenda was about Danielle. Danielle, what brings you by this late? Step in, Ruby said, and she led her to the living room where they retreated. You have an extraordinarily beautiful home, Ruby. As long as I've known you, I've never been to your house. Well, we do live miles apart. Yeah, well, I guess that's true. Would you like something to drink? No, ma'am. I just had dinner not long ago and I did have a glass of wine with it. So tell me, Danielle, what is on your mind? I was hoping to implement some ideas about the infrastructure. You know, being an architect and knowing where we need to build or not build, there are some concerns that might come up. But those concerns won't arise until the proposal for a road or plot is presented, Danielle. You seem to be jumping the gun here. But I was hoping we could coalesce before proposals start being presented and drafted. Don't you think that that would be an idea? I do understand what you mean, but it would seem that the terrestrial transportation director would be the person you would work with. She has numerous surveyors and satellite engineers on her team. Ruby had an idea where Danielle was going with this. She was trying to manipulate her way into controlling Charlotte's position as the TTD, Terrestrial Transportation Director, but Ruby was not having it. Have you appealed to Charlotte with this idea, Danielle? I did, but I don't believe she's on board with this for some reason. Ruby did not believe Danielle. After all, Danielle was a lying heifer. She wanted to tell her to cut the crap, but she remained professional. Charlotte was her niece, yes, but she wasn't about to let on to Danielle that she had some sort of an emotional investment in this conversation. Besides, she had been speaking to her niece, Charlotte, and Charlotte advised Danielle had made several threats to get her project to build that highway from the west to the north stopped because she could not bribe Charlotte. Like always, Danielle was being scandalous. Scene 5. Camille was so happy to see her sister when she returned. Gara had been out to sea on an assignment with her student. I'm so sorry I didn't call you back, Camille. But at the time when you called, we had encountered this huge silver creature who came up out of the water. Girl, you ain't gonna believe it. Look at this picture right here. Oh my. Did it injure someone? Oh no. He just kept emerging and plunging back in the water and emerging. It was fun though. I need to take a trip out to sea. But sit down. I really got to talk to you, sis. What's up? You heard from Yukai? We just got off Unicom a little while ago, before you got here. Their trip to cruising was canceled. What? Why? I thought they went out there trying to help them cruisers. Yeah, they are, but The Cousiners canceled on their end. What? So, hold on for a second. So what's going to happen now? I don't know, Gara. But they are trying to schedule another time to get them set up for power stations on the southern end of their planet. You guys showed me photos. That place is a mess and it looks war-torn. Oh, wow. So, what did you want to talk about? You're not going to believe who came by here. And did? She did? For what? To warn me not to hurt Yukai. And check this. She knows what went down between me and Damien. You know what says? The best way to get along with Andia is not to be seen to begin with. Gara, this is not funny. But she showed up here while I was minding my business and told me that she knew about that situation with me and Damien. Gara looked stunned. Yes, she said it. That innocent little renegade sure has Ruby fooled, now don't she? I don't think she has Ruby fooled. I don't think it's that at all. I think Ruby needs her. To do what? Terrorize other citizens? But Andia's ability to see things had nothing to do with terrorizing. She simply knew Camille's past, and she cared enough about Yukai to warn her not to hurt her kinfolk. Andia was keen on what humans were capable of, and she wasn't down with the drama, violence, lying about stealing, and bite-biting humans and the things that they were capable of. There were times when she deliberately shut off the things she saw and heard so she would not go on a mission to hold everyone accountable for the crap she knew they'd done or were capable of. In Camille's case, she had in fact used Damien for the gifts, money, getting her rent paid, car note paid, only for her to send him a text message stating that they were not compatible. That would send a brother over the edge for sure. Then she one day discovered he'd put a hit out on her life. What did she expect? Maybe you came under her radar because you dating Yukai. I don't know. Gara, I would never, ever hurt him. Ever. Gara thought, for her sister's own sake, she'd better not. But she did not voice that. And it was obvious what Andia was very capable of. Scene 6. We are not able to find any of their parents, Ruby. We found them in a section of DC. Jackie told Ruby regarding the girls that they had rescued. Okay, it is imperative that they remain here until we're able to figure something out. But those guys who kidnapped them need to be brought to justice. You mean Andia didn't take them all the way out? She was trying to, but we convinced her not to. But she put a hurting on that one guy. Andia. Did you get the girls settled into a residence, Jackie? Yes, we are using the 6-unit apartment building a few miles from here, right across the street from where the teachers live, Gara and Camille. That way you won't be too far in case you need to check on them. And then we got them some clothing from Stephanie's department store. Good. I shall go and see them tomorrow. Let them rest and get settled in for now, and we'll get them registered in school soon until we can figure something out. Scene 7. Andia, save me. It's getting darker. Save me, Andia. Lukit called out. Andia had heard Lukit calling again. She had been in her shop working when she heard it. She went into the kitchen, stood there, and concentrated. Andia, save me. Andia went into her guest room and stood in the middle of the floor, concentrating. Andia, can you hear me? She headed to her living room and stood silent. Andia, help me. Lil Keith's voice grew louder, and Andia was able to determine where she was. In fact, she pinpointed her exact location. Don't worry, Lil Keith. I am coming.